Good morning, Cardi. It's RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day: 1988 Donruss, baseball's best. Technically, this was a box set, but it wasn't released. I guess it kind of was released in a box, but not like a little box. It was released in a package, showing off the cards on the front, clear cellophane through to the back thing. Uh, just another release, another way Donruss could make some money. I think it was like 300 and some cards in this secondary release. Not that these were anything better or different, just, again, another way for Donruss to make a buck off of people like us who love our cards, you know? Today's random baseball item of the day, another 1988 card. This one from CMC, and it is the Richmond Braves card of John Smoltz. A CMC released a massive set of cards, numbered sequentially, but released in packs made for the teams and for sale at the actual stadiums of the minor league team. So you would get cards number 1 through 30 or whatever in Richmond. With these Braves, you'd have to go to whatever city had them, and that's the only way you could get them, was to get them at each of the minor league stadiums. I guess maybe there's a mail-in way to get them, I don't know, but minor league cards are a fantastic thing. Very inexpensive, obviously, if you want to get your minor league cards, and all your big stars are going to have minor league cards these days. So, 1988 Richmond Braves, John Smoltz. A random baseball item of the day. Today's trivia question. It's playoff season. As you're watching this, I have pre-filmed this video way in advance because my access to my film room has been occupied, over the weekend, so I didn't have time to film, so I had to really pre-film a lot of these videos. So I don't know where everybody stands. I don't know if the Phillies are already out or if they have moved on. My assumption is they're already out. But it is playoff season, coming up to World Series season. So here's my question to you. Of the modern World Series began in 1903. Didn't happen in 1904. Then it went from 1905 every year through 1993. Time off for 1994, and then again 1995 through today. That is the modern World Series. There were 16 original baseball teams forming the American League and National League at the time the World Series began in 1903. Of those original 16 teams, which was the last franchise, the last one to appear in the World Series? They didn't need to win it. They just needed to get into the World Series. So which of the original 16 teams was the last one to make it to a World Series? That's your question. What you're playing for? Another awesome 1983 Donruss All-Star card. This one of Mr. Johnny Lee Bench. That's what you're playing for. If you're interested in getting that card, all you got to do is shoot out an email to me with a guess to that question. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question you will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday. All right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So, today, last in this week's series of 1980s alternate brands, not tops, but some of the different brands from the 1980s other than tops, and 10 interesting cards from those sets. Now, I'm going to do, it's actually 1990 by now, but I'm going to do the 1990 score set. Now, something you notice when you finally get into the 90s, most of the images, the card manufacturers began doing action shots almost exclusively. So for 1990 score, if you are a pitcher, almost exclusively, they've got you pitching the ball. If you're a batter, they got you at bat taking a swing. Sometimes you're running. Sometimes there's people fielding the ball. But there really aren't any poses anymore. They're not any headshots anymore. Everybody's doing something, which is kind of cool for us as collectors. And it adds a little bit of more interest to some of the things. So 10 interesting cards. It was hard, though, to find interesting things. Because, you know, although the guy's in action, we've all seen pictures of these guys in action. What's so interesting about it? So it was hard for me to find 10 things that were even interesting in these cards. But let me show you what I found. So 1990 score, Lance McCullers. They always say, keep your eye on the ball. This guy looks like he is completely pitching the ball without looking anywhere. He's got his eyes closed, essentially, or like looking over here, and he threw the ball that away. He threw the ball that away, and he's looking down and away from the ball. I've got no clue what's going on in his head. That looks like a Blue Jays uniform in the background, so this is game action. I got no clue what Lance McCullers was doing on that pitch. Found that to be quite interesting. Here's a great play at the plate. Not sure exactly what happens, but it looks like this guy got clocked. So it looks like somebody's running into Mike Heath at the plate. His mask and his helmet are gone flying. This guy is colliding with him. He's got his hand up in defense. The guy's got his, forearm ready to shiv into Mike Heath's neck. He's holding on to the ball, got his hand up in defense, and it looks like someone's about to go down. I thought that was just a great action shot there. None of those tops in actions, This one, the only way I know what's happening here is this guy in the background. I want you to see if you notice the same thing I did. So I'm looking at this picture, trying to figure out what's going on, and then I see this hand right here. It's the guy in the on-deck circle, or maybe he just scored. Somebody's coming home. Kurt Manwaring is getting ready to receive the ball, and this guy's doing hands down slide. I thought that was, he's going, get down, get down, get down. And I thought that was a really cool little addition to the photo where Manwaring's getting ready to get the ball. This guy's telling his buddy to slide. Thought that was pretty cool. This one's just a really, really cool action shot. I mean, this is freaking awesome. This is a great photo. Walt Weiss leapfrogging, say what you want about the 53 color Pee Wee Reese. That right there is a freaking awesome leap. And this is a real in-action game thing, not the pose one with Pee Wee, but that's a freaking awesome image right there. Walt Weiss jumping over that guy. Now this one, Milt Thompson on the Cardinals. It isn't Milt Thompson that caught my eye. It's the guy in the dugout in the background. It's like he's got a pair of orange pants on. He's got a jacket, but is he like covering his face or something there? Is he putting on a hood? What's going on with the hands? What's happening there? It's blurry, so it's not like I'm going to make this clear for you, but he's got a pair of yellow pants on, unless that's like a cooler or something in front of the guy. The red warm-up jacket, and he's got his hands up on his head, and I can't see nothing in his face area. What is going on with that guy? That's what I want to know. Here's one. You just feel for the guy. Ron Karkovice. Clearly, you got a pass ball situation here. Umpire's kneeling down, looking behind him. Ron Karkovice is getting up, heading backwards, pulled the mask off. He's chasing a ball. Poor guy. I always love, again, great action shots in the late 90s. They finally started to put out really, really good stuff thanks to Upper Deck in 1989. The card companies realized they had to step up their game on the photography. And that's a great action shot. Unfortunately, Ron Karkovice is chasing a pass ball in that one, I think. Ozzie Guillen. This one, I'm curious as to why this guy's even sliding. I don't know who it is. It looks like Guillen threw the ball like hours before this guy got there. I mean, the ball's out of his hand. His arm is already down at his side. And this guy looks like he's just starting to slide. how slow was that guy that he's this far from the bag? He still decided to slide, and the ball's been out of Guillen's hand for a day or two. I just don't get that one. This one just brings back fond memories here. Benito Santiago throwing from his knees. Benny was the first guy I'm aware of that while he was squatting, he didn't jump up to throw the ball. This is what Benito Santiago was known for, was when he caught the ball and somebody was stealing, to save a couple extra seconds, he never bothered to get out of his squat. He just dropped to the ground and from his knees would throw a strike to second base. Benito Santiago gained his first gold glove throughout a remarkable 45% of would-be base stealers. Yeah, and it says right here, that's why they got him here, because even more staggering, let me see if I can get this a little closer so you can read it. Even more staggering, he nailed 65% of them while throwing from his knees. So again, they took the time to get a great picture of Benito Santiago as the catcher throwing from his knees on that card. Really cool. Last two are tribute cards, but I thought they were pretty cool unto themselves. The Dave Dravecky tribute card. Dave Dravecky got cancer in his shoulder. Thought he had cured it, came back to pitch, had a brilliant first game, and then the next game threw and broke his arm again. So an absolute tragedy in a way. He did have his arm amputated up past the shoulder, if you know Dave Dravecky today. It's a really odd look because it's not just missing his arm. It's the shoulder, the whole shoulder is gone. But, you know, hey, he's alive at least, so. Yeah. And it talks about that right here. It talks about the fact that won the first game. The rest of the stuff of legend, he won the game, then broke his arm pitching in the next game and broke it again in the pennant-winning celebration. So, again, he's just a celebration of Dave Dravecky's career and a nod to his greatness, what he could have been. And then lastly, a tribute card, basically, because this is 1990, the big event of 1989 in baseball was, of course, the Earthquake World Series. So they have a card commemorating that event, the Lights Out Candlestick, 5:04 p.m. on October 17th, 1989, the quake. And they got a whole card talking all about it. Really cool little card. In 1990 score. Of course, again, the biggest cards from the big card from 1990 score, without a doubt, is of course the Bo Jackson black and white football pads, bat behind him. That's obviously the biggest card from 1990 score. But I think we can all agree there's probably a few other interesting cards in that subset. So there you go. Would love to know, again, if any of you out there have other interesting 1990 score cards you're aware of, other interesting ones I forgot, interesting players, things on the cards, let me know. Would love to hear your stories. That's all I have for you today. I'll probably go back to the 70s Topps cards and do a couple more of those. Because you actually get some interesting things back then in the 70s. You get some interesting poses, interesting pictures, interesting people. So I might drift back into the 70s next week. But people seem to be enjoying this. And since I'm not buying so much right now, at least it gives me something to show off for you guys. So I hope you're enjoying it. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you come back for the Sunday trivia recap. And other than that, we'll see you again next week. Have a great rest of your week now, and take care.